So I'm going to just go over what I have. The boat system's done. So I'm opening up my test stress scene first here to show you the performance. So I have this actor I'm using, this one actor that I'm going to use. It just has a static mesh component. And I create 100,000 entities. Then the first 5,000 I bind them to the static mesh that I just showed you that from that one actor to simulate the physics here. And you can see the performance here. You can pause. I'll pause for you. So it's pretty high. You can see some of these. So there is a way to kind of get around that. So I have over here you can set for each system update interval, and I set them all as 0.2. And you can see the average time is a lot better, but once in a while it does hit the max still. But this is a decent way to increase performance. The only side effect is your stuff will update slower. But I'm doing it for this example and it seems to work fine. So now I'm opening up my actual scene. This is the game mode, so I'm setting those system update intervals here. Then I made a custom event set random global wind. So I have under my boat system, I have all these wind functions you can use to set the global wind. And here this one's just random like how you had it. And then this is how I update it every 30 seconds. I set this variable wind update last second. And then here under tick, I check if it's greater than 30 seconds. Then I call this event again. So now here's my actual actor. So I create the entity. I have my entity variable over here. I have this component. I have no idea how that got over there, so I just delete it. So yeah, I'm creating my entity from the core system, and then in the boat system I set it to be of a boat signature, so the boat logic runs on top of it. And then I'm binding the raft to this boat entity. So this will make it so it copies over the transform data to the entity automatically, and it will also automatically run the boat movement for you. So we can skip that. So here I have this where you set the movement component stuff. You don't have to set it once every time you want to update the stats. So these last two variables are actually from your example. From what you did in your input, these variables right here, that one, and that one. Now I did, because I'm using the 0.2 interval, I did have to add an extra 0 to those, but that's not really much of a problem. And I know this number is kind of high, kind of messy, but you don't have to ever set it again. So it has to be set somewhere. The problem is if you try to set it inside the entity system and just do it automatically, each boat based on its like mass and its physics. If you go into a static mesh, there's a mass variable. It's not going to play well. Not all the different masses are going to play well with these values, so I made them. You have to set them yourself per entity. So rather than all the boats using the same ones. So then I set my boat forward power. I'm just using your logic here from earlier, the base speed, bonus speed, and weight malice. I didn't make them per variables. I just made them literal floats because it's better for performance and you're not wasting memory. So then I just put in a forward power base, and then I have my For this example, I put 28 for turn. Then on a tick, I have my player input, so I have my space bar. I'm not using my built-in input I use because this is part of the entities. I just want to keep it decoupled so it doesn't rely on it because this is an example. But anyway, you set input component forward, and I'm setting the forward based on the spacebar. And then I do the same thing with turn. So here's I'm playing. I'm just gonna quickly get the stats up. So you're gonna see the first two are the boat power, and you're gonna see the angle bonus here, the last third to last. So let's start playing. Okay. So you're gonna see I'm just showing you that it loops properly, so you don't go from like 1.2 all the way back to 0. So it loops properly. So I made sure that worked. And then you can see all the variables here. So now I'm going forward. So my boat forward power will be based on the wind. I know it's kind of hard to see what's going on. But I try to get it to much like yours as possible. But I did turn up the turn speed higher for this example, so it does work. Then I'm going to show you, I have this a copy scene here. I'm going to show you what I have a problem with all this water stuff. So let's say I try to make a landscape and I add water to it. Earlier I was adding water but not on the landscape, and that's why my box was floating on top. But anyway, anytime I try to add water to landscape, this happens to me. And no matter what variables I set or what I do, it always does that. So I got that example scene from the water content. Yeah, so let's say in here, so yeah, that's the scene I used, but yeah, so I just copied it over and didn't touch anything. So, yep.